Hello, I'm Piper, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 worst players you can have in your Pokémon Unite game. Honourable mention at the beginning, or probably should say dishonourable mention, are people who AFK and rage quit. They're obviously the worst. If you use voice chat, people who say abusive stuff, they're obviously the worst, but I kind of feel like it's a bit dull, a bit of a boring video to have them as number 1. Pretty obvious they're the worst people. What I do like in Pokémon Unite is the fair play point system. You start off with 100, and as you do things that are deemed to be bad, you lose points. So if you AFK, if you report people, I'll put a little footage up of someone getting reported, and it says they lose 10 points. I don't know if that's true. I think it's about 10 points depending on how long you AFK for. But I really like it. If you fall below 90, you lose your 20 coins a day you get free. If you fall below 80, can no longer play ranked, and eventually if you lose a lot of points you can no longer play in normal games anymore. You can only play against the computer. So I really like that. You can, firstly, as someone who's reporting someone, you feel like, okay, this person is being punished for ruining my game. But secondly, there's an obvious point system. You will get punished if you do this behavior, and that's great, really, I think, for the health of the game. But anyway, onto the actual video. And number 5. So if you go on Twitter right now, almost every comment you'll see underneath anything they post on Pokemon Unite's page is people say nerf Gengar or nerf Zeraora. Occasionally you might see like Pikachu in there, but typically the 2 most OP Pokemon that everyone complains about right now is Gengar and Zeraora, and they have 2 things in common. The first one, they're both speedsters, and as speedsters, they are recommended to play in the central lane. So you clear the central Pokemon out and then you gank top or you gank bottom. So while they're overpowered, I kind of get the impression from how Pokemon Unite is designed is that these Pokemon are meant to be quite strong, because Absol is another speedster who does a lot of damage, and Talonflame, again, they all do really high amounts of damage. So the 5th worst person you can have on your team is someone who picks that role and either plays poorly, or they pick a weird champion who shouldn't be there, like a Pikachu or a Charizard, and then they try and play them in the middle, and they're just useless, to be fair. Now, I'm going to cut these people some slack. That's why they're in 5th. We all have bad games. It happens. But it does really make me sad when I see someone take middle off someone else, and you decide, hey, you know what, I'll let you have it. We'll see how you do. And you're just complete garbage. It's really harsh, actually, saying like that. But it's really not fun. It does kind of ruin the game, especially in ranked games. You want to win, and someone's really trying to play Wigglytuff in the middle, and it gets worse when they clear the first part of the central bit, and then they just go and sit in a lane 3v2. And meanwhile, the enemy Gengar is just constantly coming into your lane and murdering you. So yeah, please don't do that. Like, feel free to play Gengar or Zeraora or Absol or Talonflame mid, but if you aren't very good at it, it's the most important role in the game, so just play someone you're good at in a different lane. In position number 4 is people who are not AFK, but are a little bit unaware of the whole map situation. One of the most rage-inducing things in any MOBA is when you're killed and you have a teammate really close to you who's doing nothing, or just doing something that's completely insignificant, and they could have helped you and they just didn't. So for example, let's say you're in a 1v1 fight, you've almost killed enemy Pokemon, and then you look at the map afterwards and your Alolan Ninetales is just farming a 2-orb Pokemon or a 3-orb Pokemon. What are you doing? It's not important. Just come and help me kill them. We killed them, and then we score the goals and we take steps to winning the game. Please. It's so annoying when you die and they're just there doing nothing. So yeah, they're in 4th position. The reason they're not higher is because, we all make mistakes. Sometimes you aren't paying attention, you've been distracted, whatever. But yeah, please just look at your map from time to time, especially in lane. It's really easy because you can just move your camera a little bit and I'm right there. Please pay attention. Similarly, in position number 3 is people who are unaware of what's going on with 2 minutes of the game to go. The reason why I've decided to separate these 2 things is because there's a huge amount of potential effect on the game between people who are kind of who miss having a fight in lane because they're not paying attention, and people who just ignore Zapdos. So with 2 minutes to go in Pokemon Unite, any goals you score get doubled. But also importantly, is in the middle of the map, Zapdos appears, and if you kill Zapdos, all your opponent's goals become undefended, so you can score them without being interrupted. This is so important. I have lost and won many games because of losing the fight at Zapdos, and then your enemy team or your team scores 300 to 500 goals. And obviously, as you can imagine, 300 to 500 goals, kind of important. So it is so annoying when you've lost a fight at Zapdos and you look at the map and there's a teammate who's just farming wild Pokemon in your half of the map, and it's like, what are you doing? Look at the map, friend. You've noticed how the 9 other icons are all in the middle of the map? Maybe you should be there too? Maybe killing those, Ordinos at the side of the map for a whole 7 orbs. Yeah, I know in your head you're thinking, well, if I kill these and I kill that one and I kill that one, they're going to get me 28 points. That's 56 points, which would be great. But we've just lost Zapdos and they're now going to score 500 points and probably kill you, and we've lost the game. So, yeah. So when there's 2 minutes left, yeah, just have a look at the map, have a look where your teammates are going, and if you see that they're all going to mid lane or someone's pinging, gather here, maybe go there and don't just, make all your teammates hate you. So, number 2. In Pokemon Unite, each goal, often the middle one, has a certain amount of health, and every goal that's scored takes off from the health. So the first goals have 80, the second goals have 100, and you can't try the third goal. So what will happen to you eventually is you'll be going to a goal, it'll have 5 health left, and you'll have 30, 40, or 50 orbs to score, and you'll be there, you're making your way, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get a big load here, guys, woo. And then some little bastard with like 6 points will skip past you, score them, because the more points you have, the longer it takes to score, destroy the goal, and then you don't score, right? And then you can't get the other goal, it's a bit more dangerous to get to, and you can't score, and then you lose the game by 30 points, right? Those people suck, right? Now, the reason they aren't first is simply because, like, I can empathize, I can understand the mindset of, maybe just a bit selfish. You're an asshole, that's why you're one of the worst people to play with. But I get being selfish, or maybe you've panicked, or maybe you're new and you don't realize, and you're just like, yeah, or you're bad at math. I'm pretty bad at math, to be fair. But, like, I know. But, like, so maybe you score, you think, oh, it's no big deal. It's fine. It's so annoying, and you do lose games because of this. So, yeah. Don't do that. If you can see that your teammate has more points than you, and your goals will destroy the goal, don't destroy the goal. Like, if there's 20 points left in the goal, and you have 10, score. That's fine. But, like, if your goals will destroy it and your teammate has 50 points, let them score. Like, it's good for your team. You want to win the game. Good for your team. Let them score. Finally, we're at number 1. And in any MOBA, any battle arena kind of game, we all occasionally have to pay the tank or support tax. You've all got to do it eventually, just eat it up. Sometimes you have to play tank, support, or you have to have like a really long queue timer if you play an MMO. But the worst kind of people, and the reason why this is number 1, is simply because the other 4 behaviours I can understand. Maybe people are bad, or they're inexperienced, or they're selfish. Like, obviously you shouldn't be selfish, but I get, people are human. It happens. But this behaviour, I can't process it. I don't understand what goes on in their heads. The worst player to have is someone who hovers tank for the entire champ select, and then in the last second, they switch. Bonus asshole points if you switch Charizard. Charizard's useless. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the individual Pokemon Charizard, but in the game, it's garbage. Like any other Pokemon. Literally any other Pokemon would be a better choice than Charizard. But people who switch from a tank to not a tank in the last second, why? Who does this benefit? Like, if you don't want to play tank, just don't play tank. I don't mind playing tank. My most played champion is Slowbro. Like, but if you're going to hover tank, play it. don't switch at the last second. Like, if you're going to switch it, switch with like 20 seconds ago so someone has time to, reluctantly, be a tank. If you switch with 1 second left, you've kind of just screwed everyone over. I don't get the mentality. Like, this doesn't benefit you, because now you're playing on a team that doesn't have a tank, and if your other team has a tank, or God forbid, 2 tanks, and you don't have a single one, and they have a Gengar who just murders everyone. I don't get it. So you are the biggest asshole in Pokemon Unite, other than, AFK people and abusive people. But you have a tank, play tank. For the love of God, please. And finally, announce Mimikyu.